The mother of all misunderstandings just happened at the end of this episode. Like, oh my god. Like, who would have thought that so many misunderstandings and just peer pressure would result in our MC, Amano, saying his confession to Tendo? That, whoa. Whoa. It just, whoa. I'm just completely in utter shock right now because of that cliffhanger for the latest episode of Gamers. I mean, the episode was just a big clusterfuck. Like, oh my god, the clusterfuck of misunderstandings to the cringy inner monologues and stuff. It was just a fabulous episode. I mean, if you have been enjoying the recent episodes, you're gonna love this episode because it was even more extreme than the previous episodes. Like, oh my god, there was even internal screaming. Yes, I'm not even joking. There was times in this episode where the characters are looking at each other and they were talking about what's most likely going on, trying to calculate, okay, what does this mean, what's this expression mean, and all that, and while they're looking at each other, they're literally screaming inside their head, and I'm just like, oh my god, like, this is too fucking good. Like, it's too good. They're just screaming in their minds because they're like, oh my god, he's dating this person, they're going with this person, oh my god, this means that this person's a cheater, just everything, all the misunderstandings to the way the communications were done with each other, but also how just the animation art was done when they were looking at each other and the voice acting. Just a great episode of Gamers. I mean, seriously, this episode could not have been any better than it was, especially with the build-up for that finale part of this episode. When you see Amano confess, that was perfect build-up. It was absolutely perfect, because I didn't expect that. I didn't see it coming. I really didn't. I thought he was going to flub it and just make a mistake or whatever, but, well, he did make a mistake, but it was a good mistake, but still, I figured he was going to fuck up. Something bad was going to happen. He was going to chicken out or something, or Tendo was going to chicken out, or something bad was going to happen, but that didn't necessarily seem to be the case. What did happen was that you had the other main characters. They were just trying to figure out the relationship between the characters, the reactions of the characters. They were just sitting there using Amano and Tendo in a means to figure out if one of their, you know, boyfriend or girlfriend or whoever, their friend, is cheating on them, or a possible relationship with someone else. And so, as the scene carried on, you get to the scene where Amano, he's like, talking to Tendo. Tendo's like, thinking, oh shit, you know, he's about to say that, you know, I don't want to be friends with you anymore. That's what she figured was going to happen. Like, he doesn't want to be around her, he's tired of her being clingy, and so she was going into the conversation thinking something very bad was going to happen, and so there was a big misunderstanding there. She figured that Amano didn't like her, and as that scene carried on, you're like, oh my god, just this is even more of a clusterfuck, and Amano, out of everyone that's, you know, currently facing like a crisis or a misunderstanding, Amano was the one character that was calm. Like, it's funny when you think about it, because in the situation, Amano should have been one of the most nervous characters there. Like, he should have been legit nervous, not even know what to do, shaking, and probably should have backed out and just ran away. But that wasn't the case. Actually, out of every character in this episode, he was probably the most calm, which is funny. I think that was the point of the episode, just showcasing how some outsiders to relationship or any type of drama or problems, they can complicate the situation and just overthink it and make it much worse than it really is. And that seems to be the case because of how Amano was viewing the situation, but also how Tendo was viewing the situation. Because actually, when you look at it, Tendo, she was taking it seriously, but she actually wasn't making it into a big deal like the others were. So that also just goes to show how sometimes people on the outside, they can think certain things, and it can look much worse or much better than it is, and it just complicates the entire situation. Anyways, though, besides that, I do feel like this episode, it's pretty much more or less the same thing that we've been getting for the past couple episodes, which is a good thing and a bad thing, depending on your viewpoint, obviously. I mean, if you like the content we've been getting from Gamers, for instance, the misunderstandings, to the interactions with the characters and all that, to the characterization, I think you're going to love this series. You're going to love this episode. And I have to say, if you've enjoyed the previous two episodes, then this is probably going to be your favorite episode, or favorite episode of the series. And actually, it is my favorite of the series. I just love this episode because of just how all the characters are thinking in their mind. However, I can see many not liking this episode because of the fact that, once again, it was like I said, more or less the same thing we have been getting. And so, depending on your viewpoint, this might be growing a little bit stale for you, which I could understand that. I definitely could. However, I feel like the series is just getting started, especially with that confession scene. I wonder if this is like a new entry into misunderstandings, because the main character, we know he does have feelings for Tendo, but at the same time, though, he is like, oh, I didn't mean to say that. He was trying to back out of that line, and it makes me wonder if we're going to have a whole new series of misunderstandings to where the main female character, Tendo, she's going to be like in a relationship with him, Amano's going to be in a relationship with her, but they're not really a couple, like they're just like that on the surface. I could just see some things being very complicated because of that ending sequence. So let me know your thoughts in the comments below. I love you all so much. You have a wonderful day or night wherever you live. Please be safe. Chibi out.